competence for me is just, as they say, old wine in a new bottle. We've always looked at skills while hiring, ever since we started hiring. But in the last 10 years or so, we saw competency mapping happening within organizations for roles. We've seen job descriptions getting revamped, having separate sections on technical skills, behavioral skills, etc. And I think what I've seen is that managers have become far more adept at evaluating applicants for a role basis the competencies that they bring to the table. So some of the things which have now become the norm, for example, assessments for a role, are very much the norm. So you would have cognitive assessments, you would have behavioral assessments, you would have technical assessments. So you're sort of making a very holistic assessment before you bring a person within the organization. Training definitely is something that the organization needs to keep investing in, but organizations want to bring in people that have maybe even the learnability portion. As you said, you don't want to bet on a dead horse, right? So I think the way I'm seeing hiring happening now, I think it's a lot more professional, and it's also had a great impact on the culture of an organization. I think it's become a lot more merit-oriented. You see meritocracy more than loyalty being rewarded, and that should be the way, because the old school has been about people. Leaders have looked at people as people I can trust, people who will not, people who will be obedient to me, people who will be not disloyal to me. Those are the people that make it to the top. But the new age organizations cannot just reward loyalty. It has to be about what is the skill set you bring to the table. In the background of what AI is making us do, I think skills like problem solving, skills like agility, behaviors like empathy, etc., have become very important. And as we saw in the presentation today, we are looking at the age of the super worker. I don't think we should fear AI. We should embrace it with open arms. This is not a change that's not going away. So how can it add to your role at the organization that you're a part of? How can it help you make better decisions? And we were just having an offline conversation. I'll give you a small example rather than the speaking earlier. Nowadays, drafting a resume is the easiest thing. You have so many tools available to you. So it's as simple as, okay, here's the job description. This is the role I want to apply for. Here is my current draft of the resume. Kindly customize it to that, and voila, you have an excellent resume. Now, look at it from the recruiter's end, the guys who are sitting at the other end. The days when we could distinguish between a good applicant and a poor applicant, basis the resume alone, are gone. So does that mean the recruiter's job is gone? No. The need for human eyes to scan it, differentiate, to know whether this is content which has come from a machine or this is a person genuinely telling us why he should be suitable, or why is he or she suitable for a job. It's become a lot more important. So resume screening, it's happening using AI. First rank candidates, second rank candidates. How does the funnel, you will see, if you see the data on funnels within the organization, from 1,000 applicants to people who actually reach the interview table, it would be as small as 20. And within that also, sometimes you will say, I will have to go look for it again, look for a person again. So essentially, to sum up, I will say, I love what it's doing to the culture of the organization. I love the fact that it's bringing a lot of practical things into assessments. And lot of you've seen that in technical firms, especially technology firms, young people are calling the shots. It's difficult for people with grey hair to accept that, but there's a guy who has the skill set, and you have to respect it. And they're doing some brilliant stuff there. So I would say just go out, embrace it, and there is no going back to the other. We hired somebody, and when you work for a very large organization that has branches across India, we realized a month ago, it was for a technical role. The person was being assigned work by his manager and he could not deliver. But the interviews had happened online, technical tests had happened. Eventually we realized that the person we had interviewed and the person we had hired were different people. Because this happened during the COVID era where nobody met. So this guy had just, had somebody else. So just the applicant photo. So you have tools that say, okay, this is the photo, then the guy who's taking the test, everything matched perfectly. But the final guy who turned up was different, and the technology could not take care of that. It was walking through your door on the final day. And the guy couldn't do his job. And then the manager called the picture and said, this guy just can't do it. And then I go all the back for finding issues that who has hired this Indian to say that again, there is no way back. And we were worried at every stage, oh, the computers have come in, they're going to take our job. Oh, I remember the year 2000, Y2K was supposed to, destroy the entire computer network. Then we had mobiles that had come in, and jobs such as the front desk, etc. They only improved. Nothing really went away, and new jobs got created in the process. I'm frankly speaking quite hopeful, because I feel that many roles that are transactional, many roles that are frankly speaking very boring and repetitive, are the first ones that will change to become more productive. And look at a SETI's role, look at an executive assistant's role. They can do their job beautifully now with no scope for error. And of course, what Vidisha said, if you have the right tools and if you have the right intent to deliver on your job, I think there is no stopping you, because what humans can do, the kind of empathy, the kind of customization, the kind of intelligence, and just the human touch that they bring to any role cannot be replicated. Friendship, you can't be friends with a machine. You can be friends to your co-worker. And till this day, I was speaking to one old colleague of mine, and I said, our seats used to be so close by, and that special bond will never go, because he sat just a seat away from me. So I think those things can't be replicated. We should take it in our stride and move on.